Say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry is NXT champion amongst, a chill week of wrestling. I'm not going to lie. This is going to be a very chill episode. Nothing too crazy going on. Welcome back to the Wrestling is Bullshit podcast. We should get you out of here at a reasonable time today. Nonetheless, even in the most casual, chill week, we still have things to go over. So let's get started. Before we actually got to see Joe Hendry win the NXT championship in a ladder match that was, well, fantastic. It gets me excited for what NXT has to offer in 2026. To be honest with you, I'll be honest. Haven't been that excited about NXT for quite a bit now, for quite a long time. Don't get me wrong, the stuff is good, but I don't know. It hasn't piqued my interest the way it used to, if you know what I mean. Anywho, before we saw Joe Hendry win the title in that ladder match in the main event of NXT's show this week, we had Monday Night Raw, where we saw a fantastic match between Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez. It was a street fight for the Women's World Championship. And let me tell you, man, I had just as much fun, if not more fun, in this street fight, this Women's World title fight, than comparatively speaking to the Royal Rumble, right? Like, I had fun with the Royal Rumble. Don't get me wrong. In my last episode, I said it left me with a bit of an ick. But ultimately, gosh, that's just a testament to this match. Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez going out there, continuing to make the Women's World Championship mean something, and just having a badass street fight. Was it perfect? No. Did it go for it? Yes. Was it awesome? Yes, it was. Okay. Then, yes, 24 hours later, we did see Joe Hendry win a 7-man ladder match for the vacant NXT championship. Joe Hendry was my pick going into this match for sure. It seems like it's time to put the NXT title on him, right? We went ahead and snubbed him from TNA, which is whatever. But NXT will be a good home for him. It's nostalgic, right? It's got me thinking, like, if you would have told me 10 years ago in 2016 that Joe Hendry, that British humor satirical guy from WCPW, is gonna win the NXT championship, you got to understand. In 2016, the NXT championship was the crown jewel of pro wrestling. It was the most meaningful championship in pro wrestling. Now, a lot has happened in 10 years, and that's not exactly the case anymore. But Joe Hendry went from being a WCPW British indie star to being world class, right? He had a match against Randy Orton at last year's WrestleMania. It's awesome to see how far Joe Hendry has come. I got this feeling when Joe Hendry first showed up in TNA and was, it was Impact Wrestling at the time. So when Joe Hendry first showed up in Impact Wrestling, right, I was like, wow, Joe Hendry's come a long way. He's got a great look. It looks like he has a place in the world of wrestling, a much bigger place than he once did in the world of wrestling. Really cool to see Joe Hendry doing his thing, man, just escalating and elevating. It's just special, right? When you see somebody do it their way, like the Joe Hendry that is on NXT television right now. That is the Joe Hendry that I remember from 2016. Not the exact same Joe Hendry, but goodness gracious, like not much has changed. Okay, he's only taken the things that were working for him 10 years ago and made them better, and found bigger stage after bigger stage, and we'll find an even bigger stage on the main roster one day. I'm excited for this NXT championship reign of Joe Hendry, if you couldn't tell. It's going to be very awesome. I am 100% on board, okay? I am 100% on board. We had one more piece of results this week in the world of professional wrestling, and this came from AAA's weekly show on Fox, okay? So if you live in Mexico, you get to watch AAA every Saturday night on Fox. And if you live in the United States, you're good too, because WWE goes ahead and puts up the AAA show on YouTube. They live stream it from WWE's YouTube channel. So AAA is finding a node of consistency here in 2026. We actually got to see Ethan Page and Chelsea Green defend the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championship against Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana. All right. And we have new AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions in Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana. These titles have been fun, man. The Mixed Tag Team titles. I know WWE enjoys doing some mixed tag team action. We've seen it once, we've seen it twice, and I think we're going to see it here with AAA Mixed Tag Team titles. I think it's a good opportunity for synergy. You take somebody from NXT and the main roster and all ego Ethan Page and Chelsea Green, and you have them hold these mixed tag team titles, and then you pay off a big moment having Mr. Iguana, who's over like Clover. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, I'm gonna put that one on the drawing board. Just super over. You take Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana, who are two individual wrestlers who are very over, and you have them win the AAA mixed tag team titles, and you make a good moment out of it. I mean, I definitely did not watch AAA on Fox this past Saturday, but I feel a little left out, right? I got a little FOMO because I didn't tune into it. I regret not tuning into it. So you can watch AAA shows on Saturdays. WWE goes ahead and streams it on their YouTube channel. Most of them are taped, but I believe the first Saturday of the month is always a live show. So when you take that into account, you can definitely, fit it into your schedule. You know me, I'm not the biggest fan of tape shows, right? I know TNA does a lot of taped shows. I watch their live shows. Whenever anybody does a taped show, I just can't avoid the spoilers because of what I do here on YouTube and then on Instagram as well. So I am down to watch AAA on Fox once a month on the first Saturday of every month and see cool moments like the one we just saw at the time of this recording last night, right? Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana becoming the new AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions. What a world, man. What a world of wrestling. And if you think that is crazy, wait until you hear this. And our only bit of news for today's episode of the Wrestling is Bullshit podcast, we have another departure from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Feels like it's the third week in a row that we are announcing that somebody is leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. And this time it is Hiromu Takahashi officially departing from New Japan Pro Wrestling. One of, if not the most popular junior heavyweight in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiromu Takahashi, is leaving the company. Okay, what does this mean? The truth is, we don't know. What do I think it means? Well, there have been rumors about Evil coming to WWE. I don't see WWE having the same interest in Hiromu Takahashi. You see, Evil was a bit of a Japanese commentary on the American style of wrestling. So, with that being said, I could see him having a place in WWE. But a guy like Hiromu Takahashi, don't get me wrong, he can absolutely have a place in WWE. But I don't know. I just don't get that feeling like it's gonna happen, to be honest with you. And maybe I'll be proven wrong here. And then you take it to the other side of the pond and you think, well, that's a geographical. Let me not, I'm not referring to England. I'm referring to AEW, right? We take it to the other side, I should just say. And we think, should Hiromu Takahashi be in AEW? And honestly, like, I see that working better, like Takahashi being in AEW, but I also don't see that being a thing. I think Hiromu Takahashi is going to plant his feet in Pro Wrestling Noah. Okay, it seems like Pro Wrestling Noah is on the up and up with the reported frustration and butting of the heads that seems to have been happening in New Japan for a while now, right? You got Tetsuya Naito leaving, now Hiromu Takahashi, you got Evil leaving. These are homegrown Japanese stars that are leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is quite alarming, right? It made sense when guys left for AEW, right? It made sense when Kenny left for AEW, when the Young Bucks left for AEW, when Cody left for AEW, when Jay White left for AEW, when Will Ospreay left for AEW, because those are AEW guys. Like, I pretty much knew Will Ospreay was going to make it to AEW eventually since day one, since before day one. Then you think about Okada leaving, and you're like, ooh, well, he's a big star. Everybody loves him. He's a worldwide treasure. I guess that makes sense. And then you see Tetsuya Naito leave. after just not having his heart in it for a long time, I will say. And then you see Hiromu Takahashi leave, and then you see Evil leave, and you say, wait, these are homegrown stars. These guys are not AEW bound. Where the hell are they going? They're going to Pro Wrestling Noah, okay? Which is, for those of you that don't know Pro Wrestling Noah, it's like the TNA / AEW for Japanese wrestling. If New Japan is WWE, then Pro Wrestling Noah is definitely that secondary brand, promotion, I should say, right? And you can watch Pro Wrestling Noah on Wrestle Universe, right? It's like $10 a month, and you get access to all Pro Wrestling Noah shows. You get DDT shows, which is DDT's weird. DDT is like, I don't want to compare DDT Pro to ECW because it's not ECW, but it's the way I always looked at DDT is it's like it's trying to do what WWE's doing, but with Japanese humor. It's trying to be very kid friendly, bizarre, more so bizarre than kid friendly. Honestly, it's trying to be bizarre. It's trying to be comedic, and it's trying to be dramatic. Right? DDT literally stands for Dramatic Dream Team. So DDT is one that you could watch. That's worth a watch if you get a monthly subscription to Wrestle Universe. And then they also have really good, Joshi wrestling. They have Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Right, this is the second best, arguably, women's wrestling promotion in Japan. Stardom being the best, of course. And then you have a new one called Marigold. Okay, and Marigold is it's basically Stardom off-brand, but you do get a lot of synergy with WWE women's wrestlers. I know Io Sky has gone. I want to say Bailey has gone too to Marigold. Stardom and New Japan are owned by the same company. They work with AEW, but it seems like Pro Wrestling Noah, who's featured Shinsuke Nakamura when he was a WWE superstar, he still is a WWE superstar. I'm just saying, they featured Shinsuke Nakamura as a WWE superstar. Excuse me. Okay. What am I trying to say here? It seems like Japan's wrestling scene is really leveling out. Because I will say, like, it's been New Japan and Stardom as the pinnacle of Japanese wrestling for a very, very long time. And it seems like a lot of people are upset with the way New Japan Pro Wrestling are doing things. A lot of wrestlers are. So you get Naito leaving, Takahashi leaving, Evil leaving. These are not people that should be leaving New Japan. These are people that should be in prominent places in New Japan Pro Wrestling right now. And don't get me wrong, they have been, right? Evil was the never open weight champion for a long time. Takahashi held that IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship for a very long time. Tetsuya Naito got his time in the sun after a while. At this point, I would believe that the only person holding Tetsuya Naito back was Tetsuya Naito, but that's my personal opinion. So yeah, Hiromu Takahashi leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. We don't know where he's going. We will find out. I will keep you posted. Right when I find out, you find out. Okay? All right. Let's get into the watch list, and then we'll go over the top 20 champions of wrestling. Okay. For the watch list, we have 4 pretty chill shows. Okay. Like I said, it's a pretty chill week. But even during a pretty chill week in the world of professional wrestling, you still have some homework to do. You still have some money matches coming right at you. That's the value of this podcast, baby, is we are in the now and we are moving. So let's look at what we got for you this week. Okay. Monday, February 9th, Monday Night Raw. We have the Usos taking on Alpha Academy, defending the World Tag Team Championship. Okay. AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. We have 2 big matches here. We have Tommaso Ciampa defending the TNT Championship against Kyle Fletcher. And then we have Chris Statlander defending the AEW Women's World Championship in a strap match against Tekla. Oh my goodness, that's going to be huge. Friday night, we have 2 matches as well of significance on SmackDown. We have Jade Cargill taking on Jordynne Grace for the WWE Women's Championship. This is a highly anticipated match that we've been waiting for a very long time. And then we have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defending the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship against Nia Jax and Lash Legend. 2 women's title matches on SmackDown this week. Must watch show. And then we have Friday, TNA No Surrender. TNA's first premium live event of the year, right? We have pay-per-views from TNA. We have 4 pay-per-views a year from TNA, one every quarter. And then we have these premium live events that you can watch with a subscription to TNA Plus. I think it's like $10. Okay, so TNA No Surrender happening the exact same time as SmackDown this Friday. Only has 2 matches of significance announced so far. I'm sure more are to come. But right now we have Stax defending the TNA International Championship against Trey Miguel, which is going to be an awesome match. Yes, this is going to be an awesome match. I think we will see a new TNA International Champion in Trey Miguel, which I am hoping to see because he deserves it. And we will also see Lei Ying Lee defend the Knockouts World Championship against Ariana Grace. Okay, so that'll also be a fantastic match for the Knockouts World Championship, which has been circumstances given with the current state of TNA has been good. It's been one of the more consistent women's championships in the world of wrestling. And there's been a plenty. I'm just saying, I'm not saying well, let's be real. WWE is kind of they are better at booking women's mid-card titles than they are women's world titles, barring Stephanie Vaquer's current reign. And then AEW, riding the steam of timeless Tony Storm's momentum for a long time, has recently created a match-centric, story-centric title reign, very active title reign for Chris Statlander holding the AEW Women's World title, which does deserve a shout-out. If I'm going to shout out the Knockouts World title, I got to give Chris Statlander a shout-out because she's been doing a good job. Okay, yes. Very briefly, before we get into the top 20 champions of wrestling and we get out of here, I want to talk about the fact that SmackDown and these TNA premium live events are going to continue running head to head and why I think it's ridiculous. I think it's, ridiculous because TNA and WWE are supposed to be partners, more so NXT and TNA, right? Which is a WWE brand. It's a developmental brand of WWE, of course. But it's just, you don't do this to somebody you have a partnership with. Or I don't know, maybe TNA needs to get their head out of their ass and figure out a better time slot for these premium live events. Because I do want to watch SmackDown on Friday. I want to see Jade Cargill versus Jordan Grace for the WWE Women's Championship. I want to see Rio defend the tag titles. I also want to see TNA No Surrender, bro. I want to see Stax versus Trey Miguel. That looks like the most fun match on this watch list. I'm not going to lie. Even though we have some bangers, right? Tommaso Ciampa versus Kyle Fletcher. Usos versus Alpha Academy. Like I said, it's been a pretty chill week. But even in a pretty chill week, we eating good as wrestling fans, okay? We eating good. And I'm here to make sure you don't miss a second of it, wrestling fans, okay? And that is why I'm getting pissed off. I've been pissed off about this for a while. Have TNA's premium live events play after SmackDown. Have them start at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. I know that sounds ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's Friday night, and the real ones are going to stay up and watch it and go from SmackDown 3-hour show to TNA No Surrender 3-hour show. Why are you making me pick and choose? There's a partnership here. Don't you want both? Oh, epiphany. WWE doesn't give a shit about TNA. Okay, the fact that WWE couldn't outright buy TNA when they tried probably pisses them off, and they are inadvertently trying to let the value of TNA drop more and more as time goes on. Okay, when the value continues to drop more and more, WWE will buy TNA, and TNA will probably cease to exist. I just don't see why WWE would continue to run TNA Impact. I don't. I could see them doing something else. I could see them making it a second NXT show or something. Okay? I see. Maybe they continue to call it TNA, and it's just, it's just a mediocre version of NXT, right? I don't know. Maybe it becomes Evolve. I don't know, man. But I just don't like what's happening to TNA. I feel like we were in such a good spot for a while there, man. I really do. I feel like when TNA rebranded, it was really good. And ever since the partnership with WWE, it's been at the expense of TNA, which is a promotion that we need in the world of wrestling right now. Not as some bullshit WWE feeder, but as its own thing, TNA. Don't get me wrong, it hasn't lost all its luster. I think Mike Santana's doing great. I think if Trey Miguel wins this international championship of TNAs, then it'll be great. And don't get me wrong, Leon Slater is the future of wrestling and one of the best champions in the world, or has been one of the best champions in the world, I should say. Um, yeah. So the fact that I have to pick and choose between two companies that are supposed to be partners with each other on Friday night is bullshit to me. But you know how that goes, right? Look at the name of the podcast. Okay. Let's get into the top 20 champions of wrestling and we'll get you guys out of here. Okay. Rant over. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay. Top 20 champions of wrestling. Here we go. This is a list of the top 20 champions of wrestlers that is based on work rate. What is it based on, everyone? Work rate. Okay. This is absolutely based on work rate. Is there some semblance of subjectivity, personal opinion? Of course, you could bet your ass there is. But ultimately, I try to base this off of work rate, to be fair. How many times is this champion showing up to work? How many times is this champion defending the title? So let's get it. At number 20, we have All Ego Ethan Page, the North American champion over there at NXT. Continuing to do fantastic work. I don't know what else you want me to say. I sing his praises every podcast episode. And then at number 19, we have Pagano and Psycho Clown, who continue to be the AAA World Tag Team Champions and continue to hold it down. Number 18, Claudio Castagnoli, the CMLL World Heavyweight Champion, something we did not have on our bingo card in 2025 or 2026. Still a really good time to see Claudio hold a CMLL title because he's a badass. Number 17, Knockouts World Champion, Lei Ying Lee. Fantastic work. I think she's just getting started. I hope she's just getting started, but I'm down for this to be a prominent year for Lei Ying Lee in the Knockouts World Championship. Number 16, FTR, AEW World Tag Team Champions, continuing to be consistent, right? Having a good time, just being their great selves and being great AEW World Tag Team Champions once again. FTR, number 16. Number 15, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Rio. This is a tag team that has been built to the titles for the better half of 2025, and we are now reaping the benefits of that slow build and having a good time. Number 14, we have the Women's World Champion, Stephanie Vaquer, who has been doing... Stephanie Vaquer is probably the best Women's World Champion that has ever existed in, obviously the Women's World Championship. This design of it and this era of it has been short-lived. It's only been a few years. I think Rhea Ripley did great with it, and maybe Rhea Ripley and Stephanie Vaquer are both good considerations for the best women's world champion that we've seen in this era of WWE. Number 13, Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, Athena. Not enough good things I could say about Athena, who's been holding down Ring of Honor since it was purchased by Tony Khan and company. Number 12, AEW Women's World Champion, Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander continues to get in the ring and wrestle. And that's what makes her the number 12 champion of wrestling. Okay. Number 11, Red Velvet, another women's wrestler who gets in the ring and wrestles. Red Velvet defends the Ring of Honor Women's World Television Championship constantly on Ring of Honor television. Number 10, we get into the top 10 here. Okay. Top 10 champions of wrestling. Here we go. Number 10 is Ricochet, the AEW national champion, who has been so freaking consistent on AEW programming. It only made sense when he became the inaugural AEW national champion in November of 2025, and he's been doing a great job. He's been featured prominently, and he's had great matches defending the AEW national championship. All right, number 9, TNT champion Tommaso Ciampa, another person that has been lacing up their wrestling boots and freaking wrestling, man. Tommaso Ciampa is about to have a career year in AEW, and we are just getting started with him at the number 9 spot for the top 10 champions of wrestling. Okay. Number 8, United States champion Carmelo Hayes, somebody that has been defending the title every Friday night on SmackDown. That is a guaranteed, depending on what the scene looks like, top 12, top 10 spot if they defend the title every week on SmackDown, right? That is only gonna give me so much to work with to give them a good spot on this list. So number 8, United States champion Carmelo Hayes. Good to see him doing well. Really is. Okay. Number 7, the Elegance brand, the Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. Again, we're just seeing them get in the ring and defend the titles, and that's all you need to do out here to have a good reign. That's not all you have to do, okay? But I'm just saying this is what really separates the workhorses from the showmen, from the paper champions, okay? I hate to call them paper champions. That was maybe a little too dramatic, if you will. Number 6, WWE ID Women's Champion Lainey Luck. Okay, if you have the chance to see the WWE ID Women's Champion Lainey Luck at a indie show near you, I would recommend going. Number 5, never open weight 6-man tag team champions Bishamon and Oleg Boltin. Okay, these never open weight 6-man tag team championship titles seem to be having a prominent role in the world of professional wrestling in 2026, which is great, man. It seems like trios wrestling is not in a good place right now. AEW doesn't know how to book trios. Ring of Honor doesn't know how to book trios. New Japan seems to know how to do it, and they are showing the rest of the world how to do it. Okay. Number 4, AEW Continental Champion Jon Moxley. Been doing fantastic work. Been featured prominently on AEW programming, defending the belt. Okay. Jon Moxley's. It's time. They got to stop lollygagging. They got to turn Jon Moxley face. They got to have the Death Riders turn on Jon Moxley. I'm sure it's all coming, and I'm excited to see it. Number 4, Jon Moxley, Continental Champion here in the top 10 champions of wrestling. Number 3, somebody who defends their title this week, Stax, TNA International Champion. Dude, Stax is the most underrated champion in the world of wrestling right now, and he lands himself at the number 3 spot in the top 20 champions of wrestling list here at the Wrestling is Bullshit podcast. I have been singing the praises of Stax for what feels like months at this point, and he deserves it, man. What can I say? You know, it's warranted. It's deserved. Number 2, the Babes of Wrath, the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, the inaugural ones at that. They have simply been getting in the ring, defending the titles, and being so damn entertaining with their work alongside Chris Statlander, the AEW Women's World Champion. I love seeing a quick turnaround for these AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. I told you I was worried. A couple episodes ago, I told you I was worried that, you know, you have 3 women that have all the women's titles in AEW. I think the TBS Championship is like on the back burner right now. But, you know, you got to get these women's world tag team titles over there on AEW. You got to get them going, right? You got to give them a good start. So it makes sense that they are some of the most prominent champions in the world of wrestling right now, okay? Them and Rio, like it just depends on the week, literally. They are tag team wrestling for women in both WWE, AEW, and TNA is just fantastic. And that's what we love to see, man. That's what we love to see. And the number 1 champion in the world of wrestling right now, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, okay? AEW is absolutely capitalizing on the fact that they have the AEW World Championship back on MJF. And it has been fantastic. There has been wonder. There has been mystery. There has been savage promos. There's been wrestling. There's been all of it. There's been all of it. I'm excited to see what AEW cooks up with their world championship in 2026 because it's going to be awesome. Okay. And we are in the era of MJF right now. We will see what big matches are set up out of this, and we will see how the rest of the year goes. Okay. We got some pretty good wrestling going on. This has been a casual week, and we still have a lot. We have 4 big shows to watch this week. Okay, we have prominent champions, underdog champions that are showing the world of wrestling what they're made of. Gosh, the wrestling is in such a good place right now. I think a lot of people get too tribalistic, right? They get too in the weeds with things. They get too picky about stupid things. Wrestling is awesome, man. It's in a great freaking place. And the Wrestling is Bullshit podcast is here for you to not miss a second of it. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Be good, be happy. We will talk soon. Peace.